Welcome back and welcome in to another episode of the Rear Wing Report. We are going over a lot today. We got another exit at Alpine. We are going to be giving one-word reviews for the first quarter of our championship season. And finally, we're going to preview Imola with some trivia and everybody's favorite predictions. And here to do it with me, as always, Mr. McHugh.
How we doing, Mr. Bell?
I am
Coach
doing
Bell.
well. Yes, we've had a little back and forth for the listener there. No one calls me Steve, not even my own mother.
Nobody calls me Ryan, so
That's true. That's true. So get used to it. We're going into it, and we're gonna hop right in.
dude, I'm excited, man. We're finally at a preview episode again. It feels like it's been so long.
Yeah, it's been like forever. Seniors will basically have graduated at this point in time, and we can all take a deep breath. But people who can't take a deep breath are people who are working at Alpine. It seems like there's a lot of turmoil going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, management turmoil, driver lineup changes, team performance is garbage. So we're gonna get into all of it. But the first thing we got to start with is Oliver Oakes.
Yeah. Okay. So we waited a little in a panic, maybe. But it is our favorite, resigning in disgrace. But so he resigned almost effective immediately, almost right after the Miami Grand Prix. We let it be because there was a lot of rumors flying around and there wasn't really any comments from anybody. There were people who were insinuating that Flavio Briatore had pushed Ali Oakes out because Ali didn't want to push Jack Doohan out. There were people saying that it was just an internal power struggle for other reasons. And, Alpine comes out and says, no, he left for personal reasons. Ali Oakes then issues a statement last Wednesday saying it was for personal reasons. And boy, howdy, are they personal reasons?
Personal. Yeah, they're personal.
Allegedly, right? ChatGPT, our lawyer, again says allegedly, but it's being reported, Ryan, by the Telegraph along with several other outlets that allegedly Ali Oakes has resigned from Alpine and then fled to Dubai and is kind of holed up there, trying to evade and stay away from the reach of the European governing bodies as they are, because him and his brother have been accused of essentially conducting business for the Mazepans, Nikita Mazepan, and the Uralkali company. Right after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, they were banned from F1.
Mm-hmm.
All those shares normally would have to be bought by Ali Oakes and his company. The shares that were operating in F1 were then basically just given to Ali Oakes and his company, and his brother was arrested the day of the Miami Grand Prix, or maybe the day prior, with a large amount of cash. And it seems like he's being held by the British government and being accused of essentially aiding foreign agents, the Mazepans, who are banned from essentially conducting any business in the UK. What the heck is happening?
Dude, it's insane. Like, if anybody had that on their bingo card for this year, I'd be widely impressed. Like, I cannot believe that it's happening. And
Yeah.
I saw all the reports after Miami, oh, Ali Oakes is out, and I even remember saying something to you while we were at work, and I was just like Flavio was literally Jack Doohan's manager. Why would he get rid of a team principal that maybe was a fan, not a fan of his driver? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would he leave? And now it makes a little bit more sense. So yeah, we got a little bit of financial misconduct going on over there. Allegedly, yeah. Which is just crazy. Oh man, I don't even we need some things to come out a little bit more. So we don't have a ton of news to report on or anything, but it just seems like nothing can go right for that squad over there. It's just terrible.
Yeah, it's a lot of the rumors that have been flying around the paddock that we've read about. We haven't been there yet, paging Lawrence Stroll, get us in there.
Yep.
But a lot of the rumors are that Flavio was brought in to essentially streamline Alpine and make them attractive to be sold as an asset.
Mm-hmm.
if that's what is happening, he's going about it, and the team is going about it in the strangest way possible by just being as dysfunctional as possible. Like,
Would you want to buy them?
I mean, I would because then I get to be in the paddock. But like, if I was a smart businessman, no.
Yeah.
But I actually, at the same time, though, I don't know if it could be any worse. Like, it's kind of like taking over a team like the White Sox or the Colorado Rockies. Like,
Mm.
if you buy the team, or even if you become the next manager, it's like I'm not as bad as the guy who was historically bad. So I'm already better at my job. Like,
Just slightly a step up.
yeah, you don't even have to do anything. Just make sure that nobody is allegedly on the run from international agents and you're good.
I still can't believe it. It's
That
crazy.
that would be a bold prediction if anybody had it on their bingo card.
Somebody had that for the Miami race weekend. Their long shot bet was that all happened. So
Yeah, that's definitely a off app bet. You're not getting that on DraftKings or,
yeah,
FanDuel.
yeah, you're
That's
going to a
like,
bookie for that still, like in the movie Seven.
did you finish watching it?
No.
Oh my gosh. All right, very, very briefly, a little bit of, I believe the kids call it lore. Did I use that term correctly? Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. McHugh, last year on Mother's Day, it was correct.
Yeah.
Watched all but what 30 minutes of the movie Seven, or
Yeah,
like
maybe
20
like
minutes.
40.
Okay,
Like that.
of the movie Seven. He then left and went and did some other stuff, and has never watched the rest of the movie, but said it is a good movie and he was interested in it. So
Yeah, and the plan was to watch it on Mother's Day of 2024. And now we are beyond Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms that maybe listen to the pod. I know my mom just listened to her first episode today. So
oh, nice.
yeah. So shout
Shout out
shout
Mrs.
out to her.
McHugh.
Yeah. So
Mama McHugh.
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll watch it tonight.
No, don't watch it tonight. You wait until Mother's Day 2026, or you wait 7 Mother's Days, and so then you watch it 2031.
Be taking a long gap like Daniel Ricciardo when he ends up being on Cadillac, but
Don't tease me.
I'm just kidding. But speaking of some driver news, why don't we get into a little bit? We talked a little bit about it last week when we did our grading episode, but Franco Colapinto has now been promoted and he replaced Jack Doohan. What do you think about everything? We kind of mentioned his contract a little bit during the grading episode. What do you think about that 5-race contract that he has?
So I thought about it more throughout the week, and I think it's just leverage. Like, I think that even the way they approached the questions about Jack Doohan obviously didn't help Jack, but I think the entire process was just to extract more money out of the Argentinian sponsors and get them to kind of just pony up that little bit extra. So maybe that's what they're doing, kind of like LeBron when he goes to a team and he's like, well, I'll sign a 1-year contract, but I might not come back, or a 1-and-1. And so you're just exerting pressure on these people and using leverage. Like, hey, you really like this guy. We're okay with them, right? They're kind of, playing it easy and just letting the Argentinian sponsors kind of sweat over it and make sure that they do what they feel is necessary to ensure his spot.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it just seems like I don't know, like from the perspective of Alpine though, it just seems like a really weird move. Like, we already messed up a little bit by getting Jack Doohan in the car a little bit too early last year. We see Colapinto able to, score points with Williams, and we're like, oh yeah, he's like a good, like, hot shot young driver. Like, he brings in a lot of money in the cash flow. So I get it from that perspective, but like, it's also like, why are we choosing to do this now, and why are we only choosing to do it for 5 races? So I still don't really understand the move fully. Like,
Sure.
I guess we'll see. And like, Colapinto himself was like, adapting to a new car typically requires more than 5 races. And he's like, he even mentioned like Carlos Sainz. Like, Carlos Sainz needs more than 6-7 races to be able to like figure out a car. So I think it'll be interesting. And I wonder, like, I don't know much about the kid though. Like, that's the thing. Like, I know what we had with Williams last year, and like, that's it. Like I don't know much else about his like racing career and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see what he can do, but like I'm not that optimistic because his car is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, the car is terrible. But it's not the worst car on the grid.
Oh,
So when we come back, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do team one-word reviews. And we're going to start with what is the worst car on the grid. Alrighty, welcome back. It is time for everybody's newest favorite segment. At least we hope it'll be your favorite segment. We are doing one-word reviews. We are going to start with the worst team on the grid in terms of constructor standings, which is Kick Sauber. Ryan, what is your one-word review for Kick Sauber?
pathetic. Pathetic. I don't know. I wrote down struggling, but I'm like now reevaluating myself. I wrote down struggling.
Mm-hmm.
We've now had Kick Sauber on the grid for 2 official years, right? Like we haven't seen any growth like whatsoever. It's the worst car. It's was terrible last year, and we're not seeing any development with it really this year at all. Like it's just underwhelming.
Yeah. I put down who simply because we don't they're called steak half the time. And then B, for more realistic reasons, we just don't really see that much of them on the broadcast. You don't hear a whole lot about them. It's just a lot of like, oh, hey, they're getting lapped, or, they had a bad pit stop, or they were the first into the pits. It's not a lot. Like, they're just not up there competing. Um, Nico Hulkenberg has been the highlight in their qualifying, but even that's kind of been a little bit underwhelming compared to what he was able to do in the Haas. And I think that says everything about the car and nothing on his abilities. It's not there. So I think I'm hoping that they're just like, hey, you know what? Next year, like we're all in for 2026. We're just going to do those regulations now. So one can only hope, which leads us to everybody's favorite dumpster fire, Alpine.
Turbulent.
Look at you.
Yeah, turbulent.
Great.
It's like everything's just getting shaken up there. Like that's all that's happening. Like, I mean, and there's probably was some never mind turbulence onto a flight to another country, but
Allegedly.
allegedly. Yeah, turbulence. Like nothing seems to be going well. Things keep getting shaken up. There seems to be drama every single weekend out of their their team, and like they even have Pierre Gasly like trying to play the Pierre PR saver, honestly, like going like, please let's like we're focused and we're cohesive internally. And it's just like, bro, how are you guys cohesive at all? Like you're as cohesive as a band-aid that just went into the shower, right? It's all wet. Like it doesn't stick any longer. Like it just doesn't, it's not working. It's not
Yeah.
working.
Yeah. I wrote down, ugh. It's just kind of like I don't even want to talk about them. Like I do want to talk about the whole Ollie Oaks thing, all the alleged happenings there. Like that's interesting to me. But when it gets to their actual racing, it's just like, okay, fine. Like I'm not excited about it. You know, at least like Kick Sauber steak, like at least they do something with their liveries and they make it fun. Like Alpine, it's kind of just there and everything's sad. Like I hear the name Alpine and I'm just like, oh, that sucks. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't get me excited about racing. So um I just don't have a whole lot positive to say about them. I think you nailed. I love Turbulent. Yeah, it was a great job by you.
What about our third from the bottom here? Formerly AlphaTauri, now Visa Cash App, RB, Red Bull, 20,050 Terminator version 3.
Um so I had trouble with them. Like to me, I just put nondescript.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tried out a bunch of different words. Originally I had disappointing, and I thought that was too harsh. It's just like, okay, they're there. Like they compete a little bit. They've had some bad lucks. They're kind of just like they're just there.
Yeah, they exist.
Yeah, I mean they definitely do exist, but I in coming to one words, I just put you know, non-existent. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in them.
Yeah, I went a little bit of friendlier and I went rebuilding. That's what I went with. Um, I think we've seen some pretty tremendous growth. I mean, at least maybe not growth, but at least a good start. Like specifically with Isaac Hadjar, like and Yuki Tsunoda when he was in the car, like we saw like that rebuild kind of starting to take place where it's like, oh hey, we're gonna be a pretty prominent middle of the pack team. Like we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be kind of like fighting here for like our P7s and our P6s, like which is like they're almost there, but like yeah, I would just say rebuilding. Like we've seen some things going on that does look like they're running in the right trajectory. However, Liam Lawson now drives one of their cars, and it seems like they've kind of taken a
Yeah.
few steps back.
Yeah, that was kind of what I struggled with. Like Isaac Hadjar, I've been high on him since the
Mm-hmm.
start of the season. Really like him, and I think he has a bright future. But then it's like you got Liam Lawson in there, and that's fine. I think that he deserves a shot to stick around. But it was more just like I just had this feeling of because all the reports coming out were saying that they were going to be more of an actual like sister team to Red Bull, and they were going to share more information and things like that. And it just doesn't seem like they've progressed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of just like, oh, okay, like it isn't what I thought it would be. If that makes any sense, but
Yeah, and a team that hasn't progressed is our next up, and it's Aston Martin.
mm,
What did I put down? Stagnant. That's what I put.
I put waiting.
Or brackish water or something like that. I don't know. Like it's just
Still
or
water,
still
right?
water, not brackish water.
Yeah.
Brackish water is some mix of salt water and fresh water. So
There's your science lesson for
yeah,
the day,
your
everybody.
environmental science from
We can
McKee
put
there.
this down as a educational podcast now.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, stagnant. Like they're not going anywhere. Like the only reason that they're existing is because they have one of the best drivers on the grid who earns a C grade, being Lance Stroll. Wait, what did you have him as a B?
I had him as a B.
Oh, B grade. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
B grade. For Lance Stroll, like he's existing, and like your former F1 champion is struggling to drive your car, right? Like, and I don't know. It just seemed like vibes were so high at a certain point at Aston Martin in the past couple of years, where it's like, yeah, we're going the right way, we're making the right choices in terms of development, and it just seems like that has all hit rock bottom now.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Again, I put waiting or planning were the two that I put down. I think they are fully focused on next year's regulations. They came out and they said, Adrian Newey absolutely will spend no time thinking about this year's car. And they basically were like, no one is spending any time thinking about this year's car. We don't care about this year's car. We don't even care if we have a car.
Yeah,
Like all they care about is next year getting the Adrian Newey effect into place and then hopefully nailing those regulations. And I think they've kind of been pointed towards that for the last like year and a half and kind of just spending their money in the cost cap to set themselves up for what they feel like they need for next year. So
a lot of
I
their
tried,
testing's been public too.
yeah. And like, I think I'm just trying to be positive. Um, I think that, with Lance Stroll being a B driver and a former F1 champion, like you got to feel good if you can nail the regulations along with bringing in the most respected name in all of F1 design. Like you have to feel good about that.
Yeah,
Now you just have to hope that the power units are where they need to be.
absolutely.
Which leads us into our next team. So we are now moving up the ladder to sixth in the standings is Haas. Haas is sitting at six with a total of 20 points. What did you have down for
Developing.
them? Look at you.
Yeah, developing. I love that Haas has gone the route of letting Ali Behrman drive their car. Like we've seen it over the past couple of years with like Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean and Hulkenberg and all these guys who are a little bit more experienced behind the car. They've kind of had like these, like typically like more experienced, older drivers. And I feel like, going the route of like Ocon and Behrman is a really great move from them, right? Like they're showing that they are developing, and that they're consistently, fighting for a P10 to like a P13, which is good, right? Because if we thought Haas was going to be doing that 3 years ago, we would have been crazy to think that. So like they're showing that they're developing. They've made some really good changes, and like it, like kind of going back to like what you said about like kick, like it feels like they're not in the race. Like it's fun because Haas is in the race. Like they're going and they're out and they're competing, right, for some points every weekend, which makes it a lot of fun. And I just love that they're doing it with like some drivers that have that chip on their shoulder still.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought the same thing. I put down educated at one point because of the same thought process. Like they finally have a young driver and an experienced driver, and it's like, oh, this is how things are done in Formula One. I ultimately went slightly different. Well, not slightly different, very different. I put lucky. Um, but I was just looking at the data, and they scored 14 points at China. If you take that out, they've scored a total of 6 points, right? You take out Aston Martin's highest score, they've still scored 6 points. You take out Racing Bull's highest score, they've scored four. Like, so like they're further away from everybody else because they had one big weekend, which I know is what you need. And I get it, but like they seem to just get a little bit luckier than everybody else so far. And I was just trying to think of like a different way to focus on it. And I'm just I'm not sure that luck's going to hold in the second half of the season, when the Racing Bulls and the Aston Martins have kind of at least figured out how to manage what they're focusing on um, as they go into the next part and as Haas, moves into focusing on next year as well. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. Is that cushion that they have right now of 6 points to Aston Martin going to be enough? I would think it's probably not at this point. But it could be wrong. I would hope it could be. But we'll see. Any final thoughts on Haas?
That's it.
Okay. Well, that's not it for the rest of this show, but we are going to take a quick break for another sponsor. This one is brought to you by whoever you want to make up in your head. And we're going to be right back with the second half of our constructor standings to give our one-word reviews to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like a phoenix rises from the ashes, we have risen from our sponsor break. And this team that we're going to discuss now has risen from the bottom of the standings and is now sitting comfortably in fifth place. That's right. We're talking about the one, the only Williams. Ryan, what is your one-word review for Williams?
I put promising.
That's a great word.
Promising. I think that, oops, sorry, just totally cut off your camera there, but promising is a good word for them. Like we're seeing things kind of get pieced together at Williams, and like the thing that really does shock me is that 4 weeks ago when we talked about them and kind of like where they were at, we talked a lot about how Williams is actually focusing more so on next year's car and not necessarily on this year's car. And if they're doing this like with like the resources that they're allocating to it, and they're showing this much like pace and the results that they're getting, I think it's super promising that next year they're going to be up there and they're going to be fighting with some of these teams. And I don't know, I'm super happy. Like I'm happy for Williams. Like when I got introduced to the sport and everything, I was just like, feel kind of bad for them.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I want to root for them, and like I still feel that way, and it just seems like things are going the right way. Like Carlos seems like he's starting to figure things out a little bit, and then we're just seeing like overall great pace as well. So
yeah,
Alex Albon's crushing it.
He is. I mean, I can't argue with you. All fair points. I put grounded. They have 37 points, and I feel like Williams of old would have been like, oh my goodness, we have 37 points. We could get fifth. Like, this is great. And all they would do is talk about how many points they're scoring and how they want to finish the season strong. But like you listen to them and it's like they're like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. We're scoring points. We're gonna be better next year though. Like, and everybody is united. That was the other word I almost put, was united. because they all kind of firmly believe, and Carlos Sainz said that's why he wanted to go there, is that he really believes in the long-term project, like for the next 2 or 3 years of these new regulations that are coming in. And so I just put grounded. I just think that they very much know who they are and who they want to be. And I look forward to seeing it. Which brings us to a team that I don't look forward to seeing where they are currently, and that is Ferrari. They
Can
are
I
sitting.
guess your word?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should do that.
I think you put poo.
I
think you
did.
put poo. Yeah, okay. All right, there we go.
I did. They are sitting in fourth at 94 points. And it's not even the points. Like somebody's got to come in fourth, and it's the very fact that Max Verstappen is just taking a blowtorch to them in that sense. But you look at it and like Max is beating them when they're having bad pit stops and they've had a few bad calls. Ferrari is just like destroying themselves. I almost just put disintegrating.
Self-destructive. Like,
Yeah, like I don't understand what's happening. Like Fred Vasseur was brought in to deal with and like kind of, modernize essentially, kind of like bring a business like approach to these pit wall decisions, and everything is just going about it nothing makes sense. It doesn't work. They're not telling the drivers what to do. I mean, we can go over all the problems ad nauseum. They're bringing up updates to Imola. I hope it works. I want to see them do well, but yeah.
yeah, I'm with you. I put underwhelming.
Oh, I was supposed to choose or guess your word, but
Oh, my bad.
I'm
My
gonna
bad.
say underwhelming.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yay!
underwhelming. Like, it's just it hasn't been there, and like for all the same points that you said, and like I am optimistic. Like, Imola is going to be a huge test for them. Like, being able to see like, hey, this is where we're at. We're in front of our home crowd, and we're bringing upgrades. So I think it'll be exciting this weekend for them. They historically perform well, right? It's kind of like a home-ish race.
Hmm.
So yeah, but like it's incredibly underwhelming. Like you brought on Lewis Hamilton to take your team up into P2, right?
Yeah.
P2, P1, right? That with that's the real hope, you know. Um, so I just feel like it's just extremely underwhelming. You have Charles Leclerc, literally Mr. Consistency when it comes to qualifying, and he's still struggling. He's been in this car for years. He knows how the team works, and it just feels like it's just good old Ferrari that we've come to know for the past like half decade now. We're just
Yeah.
like we're gonna make these team-based mistakes that are just gonna completely screw over our ability to run a good weekend.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mm.
Um, yeah. They are 11 points behind um, Red Bull in the standings. Red Bull is sitting at 105. What is your word for Red Bull? I'm
You
going
want
to
to take a
put
guess now?
confused.
Okay, confused. I wrote down Max Verstappen.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's two words, but
Yeah,
okay.
I guess. Yeah.
I wasn't going to get it even if I knew it was two words,
Come on,
but
that's a technicality, right? No,
fair enough.
it's more like
Okay.
the song like do 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 Max Verstappen, but you like don't have the plot all one word,
Okay.
right?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, you're. I mean, I'm in the Max side of the Twitter world and everything like that, where it's just like I'll just get this song. I'll send it to you later, but yeah, like they are solely being carried off the back of one man who just lives and breathes racing. Like he is the sole reason they are where they are. Like I honestly feel like Red Bull should be behind Ferrari. Like just in terms of like the actual car itself, right?
Yeah.
Max like is just optimizing his results. Like he's just showing, hey, I am still the best driver on this grid, and I'm just gonna single-handedly carry the team. It's like, have you ever seen that video? Like, I put the team on my back though. I
I
put the
have
team on my back though. And that's just how he is, right?
I
Like,
I have seen that one.
I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that one I was watching in college. I put down, you want to guess my word for this one? You're never going to get it.
Inconsistent.
Dictatorship. The reason I put down dictatorship is for two reasons. Number one, Max Verstappen is in charge of everything in terms of scoring points.
Yeah.
And I feel like he could run it like a dictatorship and just be like, I want this, give it to me now, or I'm leaving. And they'd be like, okay, because they're completely dependent upon him. I basically had the same word as you. I just didn't know I could just go Max Verstappen and it counted as one word. So I'm gonna do that later on, maybe when we get to McLaren. They're super confused. But I just think that the focus is on him. You know, we talked about figuring out how to make that car easier to drive, etc. But I think that they are super dependent on him at this point in time, and they have to be aware of like how he views the team, and if there's like anything that's driving him wild or insane, or even just like the little things like how does he view it. We have to take everything into account because we need him to be happy, and but like you said, the man just cares about racing. He just wants to perform. So give him a good race car and he'll be happy. But they haven't seemed to figure that part out yet, like how to give him that good race car that's consistently able to perform. So
Do you think he's happy with his team principal?
we'll find out. I think that the rumors would indicate that he is not, and the 51% ownership stake in Red Bull from the Type Corporation is not happy, but rumors are rumors for a reason,
They're all
right?
alleged.
Yeah. Yeah. Chat GPT coming in clutch. Another team coming in clutch is our second place team sitting at 141 points, and that is the Silver Arrows of Mercedes. What is your one word review for Mercedes? I'm going to say it's Kimi Antonelli's awesome. Is that all one word? Or I'm going to say, yeah, my actual guess would be like focused.
Focused.
Yeah,
Resurgent.
good word.
Resurgent. They are back. Like, we're not porpoising around going and doing laps nonstop. Like, it just felt like so pointless for Mercedes. Jeez, Mercedes the past couple of years, where it's just like it seems like they're just driving to drive, and like that's just not the championship foundation that they've kind of built up for themselves. And like we're seeing, like if I could go like a second word, I would go with consistency. And you're seeing consistency. You're seeing consistency in your drivers. You're seeing consistency in the car, right? And there's no like unexpected wrenches just flying out of the garage while people are on a pit stop, unless they're being released from Red Bull. Like there's just so little to say about Mercedes because they are just doing so well.
Yeah, that's fair. You want to guess my word?
Consistent.
Close. I put opportunistic. I don't think, looking at the actual like raw pace and the race speeds, I don't think they actually have the second fastest car. But I think that they are the team, honestly, who's probably making the least amount of mistakes. I think McLaren makes more mistakes, but has a faster car so they can kind of cover up for them. But like you look at the results, they tied for the most points in Australia. They got second most points in China. Japan, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia, they get the third most points, and then they're back to second most points in Miami. So when an opportunity presents itself, they are not doing anything to screw it up. And I think that right now, because of the way that the rest of the top tier of constructors have been performing and kind of like making their race decisions, is enough for them to do quite well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. There's not a whole lot to say, right? And for our next one, obviously we're talking McLaren.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go two completely different routes with this.
Oh, okay. Um, I'm gonna say that you are gonna go with. I'm gonna go really easy here. Dominant.
Ding 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 ding. Yeah, I put
Let's
dominant. I
go.
put dominant because I know you're gonna say something completely reckless, like Oscar Piastri is the best. Like that's you for this one. Um, yeah, dominant. Like we're seeing they have the best car. Week in, week out. Your best bet has pretty much been all about McLaren, and I might steal it as a foreshadowing for later on in the episode. Yeah, they're just dominant. Like specifically Oscar Piastri. Like, yeah, we all know my beef with Lando Norris, and I know your beef with Lando Norris, and I feel like you're gonna get into it, so I'm gonna open the floor to you.
I actually am not.
Wow.
Yeah, my word. Not. I'm gonna
I
not
won't
let
be
you
able to
guess
guess
this one.
this. Yeah.
My word was just unsettled.
Mm.
But not for the reason that you think. It's just. I think that they don't know how they want to approach their conflict that they still really haven't had on the track. In terms of, do we allow them to race? Are we going to ask, Lando to give up a spot for Oscar? Are we going to try and maximize both races? What do they care about? And they're so far ahead in the championship standings. They have 246 points to Mercedes 141 that they have a lot of space in which they can kind of play around. But I just get the feeling watching them that they're nervous about this conflict that they know is brewing and eventually will happen. We will see them on a racetrack together. And I think that, yeah, unsettled is how I would go because they just don't seem super confident in how they're doing it yet. You get the feeling they're all saying something
Mm-hmm.
that they've been told to say, but I don't know if they really fully trust either Oscar or Lando to actually do what they're told to do.
Yeah, have you seen like the favoritism stuff on X like
Yes.
recently at all? Like where like
Yes.
like people are posting pictures of like Oscar after his win. He's like taking a selfie with the team. It's like this is favoritism. Like Lando's like done here. Like he's out of McLaren next year. I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys are nuts, dude. Like he's not going anywhere.
Or they're like people who clearly are new to the sport. They're like, they let Oscar pit first with the safety car at Miami in the sprint race. It's like, cause he was ahead.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it works.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts on that?
No, I'm excited for like that to actually take place though. Like we haven't really seen, like both of them within a second of each other later on in the races. Like we haven't really seen that happen yet, and I just can't wait for it to happen because I want to see what both of them are made of, right? Like we got to give both of them their fair shot. Lando deserves to be there. He's a huge part of the like why McLaren is so successful and where they are right now. So like I want to see him to be able to show like, hey, everybody is focusing so much on my teammate. Let me show you what I can also do. But we just haven't seen that racecraft yet. And I want to see like that little battle to go on to be like, okay, here's where he is and here's where he is. So I don't know. I hope it happens this weekend, honestly, right? In I'm talking about Emilia Romagna, right? Our Grand Prix. We are moving over onto our what do you even call it? Western, like European part of our
a European triple header.
European triple header. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. You just always know what.
We are in sync. We are vibing.
Yeah, so this weekend, like we got a race and we're finally there. And just as a little forecast here, so we're talking Imola, so Italy.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you say it because I can't pronounce Emilia Romagna very well.
Emilia Romagna, Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari in Imola, Italy.
I'm pretty sure you just offended the entire nation of Italy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And my bad, Kimmy.
All of the Italian grandmothers that you didn't want to face before in Would You Rather are coming after you.
My grandma, if she heard me talk like that, she probably smacked me in the back of the head. But we saw some excitement with Miami, a little bit with like the wet weather and all that stuff. Going to Imola, we are seeing we're the forecast is dry and sunny conditions, and
Uh,
27 degrees Celsius.
chance of rain on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, so
20% chance of rain.
I hope it
Just
happens.
ugh, I don't even care. I just want there to be a fun race with actual strategy being called,
Hmm.
which Pirelli's trying to give us. They brought in a new tire, the C6, the softest tire of all. So they're going to go with the C4, C5, and C6 as their tire compound. So those are the three softest tire compounds that they have. Um, and so the hope is that there will be more deterioration. But I think what will actually happen is once again, teams will use the soft tire for qualifying and pretty much nothing else,
Hmm.
unless maybe there's a safety car late in the race, and that would be about it. But
Yeah,
one can hope, you know, but you can also hope to maybe do well in trivia. So we're going to throw a few questions out at you folks. Feel
let's
free
do
to
it.
play along at home. Obviously, you can leave your one word reviews for us or for the teams as well. Our socials are now, thanks to a new listener and their advice, our socials are now going to be in our episode descriptions for your convenience. We thank you, and we are moving forward, onward and upward, as they say.
Let's do it.
All right.
Pressure makes
Quest-
diamonds.
Pressure makes diamonds. Question number one. In what year did Imola hold its first Grand Prix?
Goodness gracious, man. Ah, you love this question. I never am ever gonna look this up.
I need to I need to get the AP app so I can lock your screen to make sure you're not.
You want to like hit me with like the Google Classroom so you could see my iPad or something like
Ooh,
that?
yeah. Or lock it like Apple Classroom.
Yeah.
Whichever one wants to sponsor us.
I'm gonna take a guess because I really don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 1978.
You're very close.
Really?
1980.
Oh wow. Okay. Good
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, great guess by you. You're off to a pretty good start. You get no points for that, but it's a
Yeah.
great guess. Okay. Question number two. I am going to give you the kilometers you're going to convert to miles.
Oh come on. I don't know what the conversion is for this.
Hey, an idea. A lap around Imola is 4.909 kilometers. How many miles is that?
9.09 kilometers.
No,
Oh,
4.909.
I was about to say 3.5.
It's 3.05.
Okay.
So the way that you do it is you divide the kilometers by a value of 1.609. So if you can kind of do that in your head, it's basically 1.5 and add on a little bit more.
Yeah, math is not my strong suit.
That's fair. Well, that's bad news for you, good news for me. This next question, it's a two-parter. Okay, so we know that it's 3.05 miles around Imola. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. How many school buses could you fit from end to end around the track at Imola?
Can I use a calculator?
I mean, sure.
You said it's 1,000 what feet?
No, I said 1 mile is 5,280 feet. I was just reminding you.
Because like that requires me to also guess what how long a school bus is. Like that's common knowledge or something like that. I'm going in comparison to my boat right now.
Okay.
So my boat is 14 feet long.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess that a school bus is probably 2.5 times the size of that. So I'm gonna go that they're probably about 34 feet long. So I'm gonna guess.
Hey, 2.5 times is like not 34 and a half.
Yes. No, I'm gonna,
okay.
I'm
It's
shortening it up.
35.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going 30. Okay, we'll go 35 then. 100 No, that can't be right. Matt's not mathing. 175 school buses.
No, you did 1 mile, I'm pretty sure. It's 460 buses would fit end to end.
Oh,
Because remember,
I
it's
did do
three.
1 mile. Yeah,
Yeah, you had the
see,
right
numbers are
length.
not like. Listen, every student in my class knows. Do not ask me a math question. Like, don't ask me. Like the seniors this past week, I'm like, hey, I can help you with pretty much anything, just not math.
Well, that's not good for you because this next question is also math. Instead of buses, how many hot dogs could you put end to end around Imola?
Should I just take a guess here?
Yes, just take a guess. Don't try and do the math that you
1.5
can't do.
million.
You're not even close, honestly. I was surprised it was so little. It is 32,208 hot dogs.
What?
Yeah. So the way you do the
What kind
math
of hot
is
dog is that?
your average half-foot hot dog. Your standard American size hot dog, not the foot long.
$5.
You have 3.05 miles. That's 16,100 or 104 feet. And then you divide that by the length of a hot dog is 6 inches or 0.5 feet.
Oh,
That equals 32,208 hot dogs.
I'm gonna have to start expecting math questions on these now. This is gonna be bad. I'm
All right.
embarrassing myself here.
We'll finish this up with just a few more. We'll go back to history. Can you tell me who holds the one lap record?
The 1 lap record. Ooh.
Fastest lap.
Michael Schumacher.
Close. Another F1 great, but still racing, Lewis Hamilton.
Oh wow. Okay.
1 minute 15.48 seconds in 2020.
Very nice.
Which driver has the most pole positions?
Michael Schumacher.
Ayrton Senna with 8.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, because I do know who has the most wins, and that's Michael Schumacher.
Unfortunately, that's not a question I'm asking you. So
Yeah, I know, but I just thought I was really confident in that because you're like, yeah, pole. Most people do convert a pole to a win most of the time. You know, I don't know what the actual, unless you're Charles Leclerc, but I don't know what the actual conversion of it, but like is like what the percentage is. But I don't know. I felt confident that it was Michael Schumacher, but
that's fair.
I was actually going to ask you that question. I just ruined it, but cool.
All right. So here's your next one and second to last one.
Oh.
All right. The circuit's president, so the guy who runs Imola, is Giancarlo Minardi. Okay. He formerly ran the similarly named F1 team, Minardi. Which driver on the grid did Minardi give their debut to, their F1 debut to? So which current Formula One driver made their debut with Minardi?
Nico Hulkenberg.
It is not Nico Hulkenberg. It is Fernando Alonso.
Oh, that was going to be my guess, and I doubled.
All
it's
right.
bad test taking strategy that I didn't just go with my gut there, but
you know, it's okay.
it is what it is.
You learn for another day.
Yeah.
All right, last one. How many DRS zones are there at Imola?
Two.
It is 1.
It is 1.
Yeah.
What is it off of? I'm sorry, I'm going through the track in my mind right now. Imola is probably one of my favorite tracks. Like just in terms of playing the game and everything like that, I'm actually pretty successful at this track.
Tell Lawrence Stroll.
Is it the part like under the bridge?
I don't believe so. It's coming out of turn 15 is the DRS detection zone, kind of a long shoot
The
down
long
to like the staple turn, going back to the start finish line.
Okay.
So, all right, very cool. Well, now that we've done some trivia, which is my favorite part and your least favorite part,
Yeah, I mean, 0%.
Let's flip it around, and now I can be made to feel stupid. Everybody's favorite segment, prediction time.
Let's do it.
If we must, then we will. All right, so we are going to start. There is no sprint race this weekend, thank goodness. So let's go qualifying top 3. Who are your top 3 in qualifying?
Oscar Piastri, it's pole. George Russell.
Okay.
Lando Norris.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. I am going to go with Max Verstappen on pole, Lando Norris second, and Piastri third.
Okay.
I feel terrible about that, but
I
that's
don't
fine.
feel very confident this week at all.
Uh, then let's move on to the next one. You usually get at least one of these, right? Who is on the podium at the end of the race?
Lando Norris,
Okay.
Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen.
Okay. I like it. Um, so Lando Norris wins.
Yeah, and I don't know what happens to George that he goes from P3 to like not being there anymore, or what happens to Oscar that Lando gets in the first part into first place. But I'm feeling it.
Okay. All right. I am going to go Max Verstappen for the win. I'm going Lando Norris gets second, and I'm expecting a little bit of chaos here for this to happen. I'm going with Kimi Antonelli for his first F1 podium.
Okay,
Oh, I thought you'd be excited about
you
that.
ruined my long shot bet, but it's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
You know, this is like when
I'll
my
just change it.
mother-in-law, she's a very sweet lady. Um, but she'll get everybody like a Christmas present that's the same present, right? Like sometimes it's like t-shirts from um like the animal shelter that she runs, whatever. But she'll wrap them all up the same way and then go, you all have to open them at the same exact time, which tells everybody that they're all the same. And I'm like, hey, if you just like wrapped them differently or didn't tell people, no one would know and it would all be okay. Um, so next time I ruin your long shot bet, just don't tell me. Maybe be excited that I finally made a good choice.
No, it's okay.
No, you don't want to be excited for
No,
me.
because I feel like it would have been one of those other instances where it's like that's not actually a long shot bet, which I do have a history of now.
Oh
So
no, I think it's a long shot, but like I said, I'm
okay.
expecting chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos is a ladder, as Littlefinger said.
Okay.
But let's see who is on the last rung of the ladder in the last point position.
Last point position, I'm going Esteban Ocon.
Okay. Any particular reason, or are you just feeling the vibes?
Just the vibes. I'm going all
Okay.
vibes this week.
I love all vibes from you.
Yeah.
I am gonna go. Last point is going to be Lewis Hamilton. Yeah. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't think that the upgrades are going to work very well. And I think especially for him, he's been struggling to adjust to the car and then changing that car, right? I just don't see it working out very well. I think he's a good enough driver though that he'll scrape out the last point.
Okay.
Which brings us to your personal bugaboo, the last place bet. Are you going to do it? The people want to know.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this week. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm going Liam Lawson this week.
Oh, that's okay. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I swear it's gonna happen now. Oh, it's gonna happen now.
100%. I believe it's going to happen.
You have to
I
take him off the
am.
board. Okay.
As soon as you said you weren't doing it, I was pretty certain that it was going to happen. So that I am going to take Gabriel Bortoleto, your arch nemesis,
Oh.
and as the Logan Sargent last place award winner.
Yeah. What a guy. Gabrielle, if you give Steve this point and didn't cash
I'm
in for
sorry.
me
Give
one
who
time,
this point?
coach. This point, coach. It's hilarious because my girlfriend still laughs every time that you text me and it pops up as coach. It's just like, coach. Like, why are you calling him coach? He's not your coach. Like,
It's just a
he's
thing.
Coach. That's coach.
Ryan's girlfriend. It's just a thing. People have called me coach for a very, very long time. So
I get
okay,
called coach sometimes now. It actually does make me feel really good about myself.
you are a coach.
I am a coach. Yeah.
So.
Dude, I should get F1. We should get some Sims.
There you go.
That would be sick.
It'd be awesome. Okay. Before we can get to Sims, though, we need to have our best bets.
Let's do that.
How are we going to pay for these Sims? What do you got cooking?
Both McLarens in the top 2.
Oh, okay. So a McLaren
It's kind
1,
of a
2.
long shot, yeah.
McLaren. I don't even think it's a long shot. I mean, it's probably less than like plus 300. So,
Yeah, it's just
um,
ruining my odds though, because both my podium finishers, I have Lando and then Oscar. So
mhm.
if this doesn't hit, it's not gonna hit.
Yeah, I'm trying to spread things out.
Yeah,
Just kind of, you know,
try to steal your points here and there, right?
yeah. Okay. So for my best bet, I am going to go with that there will be a less than um, 0.3 of a second gap between first place and sixth place in qualifying.
Wow. Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. Is it
I,
historically like the teams are that close in qualifying at Imola?
you know, you're asking a really great question, which I did do the research to, and I knew there was a reason why I was picking this, and now I can't find my notes. So it's not great. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. That's why I was hesitating when I was like, this is what I'm choosing. Um, but either way, I feel like the grid as a whole is so close that I think that it's gonna be able to stay there. I said top six. It looks like the top six last year was separated by 0.5 of a second,
Okay.
but I think everybody's moved a lot closer since then. So we'll see. I'm probably way off. It'll be like 4 seconds, but speaking of way off, we'll go with our last one to round this out. Our long shot bet.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with Antonelli in the top three. That's where I have him. Um, and I'm gonna go bonus. I'm gonna backpack off of you a little bit last week. I am going to go 6 different
Constructors.
constructors in the top 10.
Okay. All right, I like it. That one's probably much more doable than the eight. I am gonna go for my long shot bet. I am gonna go both Williams in the top eight.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa!
that's right. I
You're
told you
expecting a big week from the Williams boys, then, huh?
I love Williams, and I just hope everything goes well. It won't, but that's okay. um, yeah, anything that I can do to kind of bring them positive vibes. So I probably shouldn't have picked them, but that's okay. Um,
And do you have any lunch bets you want to make with me?
I mean, if you have any that you want to make,
I
I
do
haven't
owe you. I
thought of
am
any.
buying this. Everybody, just so everybody knows, I am buying Steve some Mountain Dew tomorrow, and I'm buying him
Yeah,
lunch. So it'll
little
be,
skeezies.
yep, some little skeezies. We're gonna try out the Mountain Dew. If you want to sponsor us,
Mm,
doors open for you.
the
We're
new
trying the
mango.
new flavor. Yeah, the kind of like spicy mango. That we're gonna try it out. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll give you guys a little review on the next episode. We'll turn into a food podcast. We'll be like the what are they, the MD foodie boys or whatever, those like young dudes that are just all making a podcast about food.
You said young dudes and immediately lost me. I am no longer young,
Yeah, you're not
but
on TikTok. Yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm like they're like eighth graders.
I am on TikTok. Oh, I think I might have seen that where they just sit around it. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen that. I am on
What's your
TikTok,
favorite
but
kind of
I'm on
pizza?
conspiracy TikTok.
Okay.
But that's for another day. And speaking of another day, we will have some more content coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, later on this week, early next week, we'll have our Imola recap.
Yep.
And then it is Indy 500 week. So we're going to be doing a bunch of different stuff. We got our first guest coming up. I think we're going to try and watch 3 races in one day between Monaco, the Indy 500, and the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600. So
It's gonna be
we'll
so much fun though.
yeah, it's going to be a great time. We're going to do a bunch of different stuff. Maybe we'll vlog some stuff or do some Instagram lives or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But stay tuned, folks. We got a lot of different things coming your way. And Ryan, where can people find us?
You can find us pretty much everywhere at Rear Ring Report on all of our socials. And we are still waiting for people to send us some emails. Okay, so we have not gotten an email yet. Maybe we're boomers and we're not used to this, but our email is therearwingpod@gmail.com. Send us anything. We haven't gotten any of our tier lists or anything like that. Let us know what you guys think about our grades that we gave through our quarter of the year reviews. And Steve, I do want to throw out one bet for just
Well,
as
we
a
got
little,
less than a minute.
just as a preview for who our guest is going to be. Do you think it is possible to throw a roast beef sandwich 40 yards onto the track?
No, it's not. And maybe we'll post that video at another date and time after everybody has tenure. But no, I am very comfortable in saying, especially underhanded, is not. I think that we'll have to get our special guest appearance into some lunch bets as well. But I am very comfortable that that one is one that I would win.
Okay. I'll believe you because we saw what happened.
Amen.
Not at the track, but
Yeah.
we saw what happened when somebody tried to allegedly throw a roast beef.
All right. Well, we're going to throw it to bedtime for me, to be
Yeah,
completely honest
I'm
with
with
you. But we've already gone over our socials, and thanks again to our listener feedback. Our socials are in our episode description, so you can find everything there. And keep coming back. Tell your grandma, tell your grandma's mailman, tell your mailman's grandma's mailman about the podcast. Please share it out. We're going to be a little bit more active on social media again. Our social media manager has been slacking, but she's going to get back on that. And please, share, rate, subscribe, review, tell your friends, and let's keep growing.